Good evening, good evening, good evening, good evening. The time is now 8:04 p.m. And every Monday around this time, we usually have this program called the Streams of Consciousness, where we try help elevate the level of consciousness one conversation at a time. My name is Hassan Robinson, and I'm looking forward to having another wonderful program with you here tonight. Tonight we have a wonderful guest, and we're hoping that we can help share the level of consciousness with you guys here tonight. So tell a friend to tell a friend that consciousness is back on the airwaves. Yes, so introductions are now on. We have online with me here via Zoom Miss Abiyah Yisrael, and she will be joining us here tonight on this episode of Streams of Consciousness. We're just going to get the Zoom rectified here, as we are presently not really seeing our Miss Israel presently. However, I'm going to begin the introductions. She's recently dropped her new title song, as well as her EP has recently been released, so we'll allow her to do those introductions. But no program here is not officially begun without inviting the original conscious entity, energy, wisdom himself, who I call Yahweh the Messiah, at the true levels of consciousness we all receive. So I'd just like to say here, merciful Father Yahweh, guide and protect us here as we enter this new episode of Streams of Consciousness. I pray that your energies is seen, felt, and heard by all those who need to. In your wonderful name I pray, in Yahshua name I pray, hallelujah. All right, Miss Israel, can you hear me? All right, are you on mute? Let me just raise up your levels one time. Go ahead.
Yes. Can you hear me?
Yes, loud and clear.
Excellent.
Awesome.
So I'm just going to greet everyone with peace. Shalom to everyone, all the listeners. Thank you so much for having me tonight.
You're most welcome. Thank you for being here with us tonight. I'm now just going to pull up some information on your music and just your vibe. But before we do that, just to let people know how you got into, I guess, your conscious divine journey, and how did you arrive at the name Abiyah Yisrael? It seems like it might be one of profound significance.
Yes, of course. First of all, disclaimer, big up to my parents who originally named me Nicole, which is a really, really powerful name in itself. It means power in people, or favor with people. And I feel like this has been, the essence of my life itself. On the other hand, bless my parents again, who gave me the opportunity to go to the University of the West Indies. Because some of the listeners may know that most of my life, majority of my life, I was involved in music. Apart from other, aspects of life, I was involved in music. Has always been ever present. The longest relationship I know, besides having a relationship with my family, music is the longest relationship I have had. So I went to, was a part of many choirs, and individually, I also released a gospel album in 2012. And that same year, I enrolled at University of the West Indies, Cave Hill in Barbados, to study social work. That's where I did my bachelor's degree in social work. Lo and behold, I'm there discovering, and I've always been that individual to question what is true, or question the reality that we live in, to find the foundation. How did that come to be? And my degree at UWI really gave me an opportunity to look into the past, thoroughly look into the past of our people, our ancestors, our history, of course, because it kind of summed up how is it that we have societies, political and social issues, and all this development? How is it that we have that today, versus how it began?
Okay.
And I discovered that our people were basically given names from plantation owners. So our ancestors came, or I shouldn't say came, they were stolen, they were kidnapped,
Yeah.
yes, from the continent of Africa. And when landed here as slaves on the plantation, they were given, some of them given the names of the plantation owners. Some of them, the plantation owners decided to give them their own names. And of course, they made children. The plantation owners made children, and that's where we have a mix of French, English surnames,
Yeah.
and so forth. I studied that, I studied that deeply, and I decided, you know what? Why don't, seeing that my present name has such great influence from the plantation field and from the whole aspect of slavery, why don't I start, give myself a name? Now I know I have a chance. Now I understand how I was named, or where the origin of my French Nicole name came from. I want to give myself a name that reflects even more, our ancestors who have Hebrew backgrounds, because we spoke Hebrew.
Yeah.
This song, Kumbaya, Kumbaya, it that the roots came from Hebrew, so that's another evidence that was our language. Massa is also stems from that Hebrew roots. Anyway, we used to call our masters Massa.
Okay.
So I discovered the name Abiyah in scripture, as well as Abiyah being a very Hebrew name. It is Abba Yahweh. Abiyah, it means Yahweh is my father.
Okay.
Yeah, it took me about 2 years, but I was like, I got you. In trying to research different names. And I always knew, Hassan, that I wanted to be, um, in the music world, I guess. So since, in my mind, I'm like, okay, in the future, people are going to be calling my name constantly.
Right.
I prefer they call a name that, uh, perhaps give worship and honor to our maker, instead of giving worship and honor to me, the human being.
Wow.
This is why Abiyah means Yahweh is my father. So every time somebody say Abiyah, you know what they're declaring?
Yahweh
Yahweh
is
is
my
my
father.
father.
Yes, sir.
And of course, my last name Yisrael. So Yisrael came about because of the same Hebrew Israelite background that I discovered that, many of our ancestors have. So literally being from the roots of, we're literally, descendants of kings, queens from the nation of Israel. Whether we believe it or not, I really want the nation to know that you guys have royal blood, something I discovered in the past, and
Yes.
therefore the name Abiyah Yisrael literally reflects that.
Wow, that is profound, and that is beautiful, and I must say, you are an embodiment of that. Your vibration, the tone of voice, just your energy, and I think it is fitting that the success in itself is one that is perpetuated by your daily, just daily affirmations of being true to yourself, and trying to
Absolutely.
stay true to your name. Sometimes it's not only the creator's name you don't have to call in vain. Sometimes you have to put a little bit of respect in your name, and don't call your name in negative energies as well. That'll be calling your own name in vain. And if you create it in the name and the image of the creator, you can't be saying things like, I'm dong, or I'm this, I'm the, whatever you speak to yourself, you have to make sure it reflects that of the creator as well. So this ties in perfect to the topic of tonight's program, which would be staying true to one's higher self despite the highs and the lows of life. So now we understand that we've all been in lows. So let's talk about some of the highlights of your weekend. We see you keep doing big things, and keep doing positive energy, and to show that good people still do good things and get good results. So talk a bit more of your World Creole Music Festival weekend, some of the music that you have going out, your EPs, and some of that good stuff.
All right. So over the weekend, oh my, I was so pleased to share the stage with Michael Henderson.
Mm.
We did background vocals with Michael Henderson on a Friday night. Me alongside, oh my gosh, some amazing musicians and singers in Dominica, guys. We are so blessed in Dominica. Let
Mm.
me just big up Shalina, Janae. Janae is Mr. Ian Jackson's daughter. Shanice, my fellow Calypsonian, Shanice, not competitor. Now we are family at this point. So big up to my ladies who joined me along the background vocals for Michael Henderson. Big up to Michael Henderson for
So,
trusting us. We worked really hard. We practiced for many nights
yes.
and hours to just bring something of perfection. And I really enjoyed what we did Friday night, giving homage to founders of Kadas Lipso, especially us in Dominica,
Mm-hmm.
Jeff Joe, of course, we have to give Jeff Joe, Chubby,
Oh, yeah.
um, Freddie,
Yeah.
Gordon, Exile One, even Cornell Phillip and the Musicano movement he had with Michael Henderson and Elijah Benoit. So
Yes.
we did a whole set of music from these great men and writers, and of course this music, the lyrical content of the music is something where it uplifts you, it warns you. You know, Anita from Chubby from Midnight Groovers. Warning Anita, this is you have to get your money in a legal means, not a if people understood the patois
Yeah,
to the
man.
Anita song. And we shared the stage with so many musicians from Matnig, St. Lucia, Guadeloupe, of course, our Dominicans. You see, on the sax has become a Dominican, Dyson, Caleb. Look, I almost forget people named Junior. Oh my gosh, Froggy from Triple K.
Yes,
I telling you it, and Jerry on the guitar. I telling you it was a great experience in spite of the rain that started in our at the beginning of our performance. When it eased up, you could tell the people drew nearer and nearer to the stage, and we got so many positive comments after that. I felt very satisfied. Like, yeah, we did something that imprinted positively on the people's mind, and that's what I'm about. Anything I'm involved in, I wanted to imprint positivity on the people's minds and hearts and spirit. So big up Nickel Henderson.
All right.
And apart from that, I do have my Bell Pay new tune, okay,
Yes.
for the independent season. As we celebrate 45 years of independence, 45 years of political independence from um, Europe, I should say, or England in Dominica. So I decided to just create something because the world has been going through such a heavy phase.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's to call it phase, but we've had quite a long moment of heaviness from our Hurricane Maria, from even the storm Erica to Maria, to the pandemic, to the wars, to the treatment of our melanated people in other parts of the world, which I normally sing about these things, Hassan. You know me. I sing
Mm-hmm.
about the rights of our people. I sing about the spirituality of our people.
Mm-hmm.
This time, I just wanted something a little light that we can
Yes.
all listen to, dance to, and enjoy
All right.
because it is pretty heavy out there. However, I hope at least we can find some, nice light and some happiness in the midst of that. We really can. We really can if we look to
Yes.
the right maker, the maker of us all. We
Mm-hmm.
can find that happiness. So Bel Pei
All
is my
right.
newest tune. I hope you all enjoyed that. 45 years of independence. Anu Celebrate
All
is
right.
our theme for
Let's see
this
if we
year.
can. Let's see if we can
And
run.
even besides that, before that, I also spoke of releasing my two EPs, my short version of albums, they call it,
Mm.
in July, which was Revolution. That is my Kadas Lipso EP, which big up to Wadix and the Creole Heartbeat team. I telling
One
you,
time.
Wadix has revived Kadas Lipso in Dominica, and I am, I am very much a part of it. I have fallen in love with Kadas Lipso again, which is why I have the Bel Pei song and also the Revolution EP.
Yes.
Fallen in love with the Kadas Lipso genre, heavily using instruments heavily from the plantation days, the congas, the toms and whatnot, the shack,
Yeah.
and as well as the reggae EP. So I've been working pretty hard. Reggae EP, African Renaissance. That's what I'm all about. You all know me. I'm very consistent in letting or reminding our people of who we are. So African Renaissance basically is something to ignite us once more, a reggae EP to ignite us. in remembering who we are, and really considering where we are even going. If we don't know who we are, how can we move forward? How can we build together?
Mm-hmm.
So please let us remember who we are. African Renaissance.
Yes,
Yeah.
man. Yes, I love listening to you speak because the clarity of the vision is always so true, and I guess that is applied to your music. So let's hear some of that. What she just said here in her entirety for musical sound. Feel free to sing along and vibe with it, you know. Okay, bring it back one more time. Me one from Abiyah Yisrael, Dominic Queen herself, Belle Pays, of a new EP, Revolution. One of her many hits. Of course, all praise is due to the Most High, hence the name Abiyah Yisrael. So you were right. This one has a bit of a lighter feel towards it. It has a steady bounce. I love the sound of the music. You did justice on this one. So tell us a bit more about this one, the writing process. Like you said, we've been through a lot, and that was the inspiration. But now that you were in the studio, what was the energy like?
Like Independence now, Independence season. I do feel that there is a lot of work to be done, Hassan, with our people and our mindsets, with our, how, I guess, the goals that we have for ourselves in Dominica. I do feel like there is work to be done. However, Independence season has always been a time for me to always reflect. Like, it forces me to reflect. Like, really, we're 45 years. I was thinking of a 45-year-old. And what does that mean to be 45 years in 2023, right? Because Dominica is like a grown 45-year adult. Mm-hmm. And thinking to myself how there's a time where you either you are satisfied with where you are going at 45 years, mm-hmm. or you are disappointed with not being where you would like to be at 45 years. So that was the energy, thinking about what is the responsibility and thoughts of a 45-year-old right now, human right now. Right. And I wanted to, kind of in a nice dancey way to say that in patois. We ran away from England, 45 years ago. Mm-hmm. We said, after God the earth, we said, in other words, kind of, we have left you, England. Now we have become our own selves, and we choose God. Right. And he comes before anything else. Right. And I'm hoping that this is the mentality of our people, that we choose him, which is our maker, first, mm-hmm. before anything else in life, because that's where we get our direction. That's where I get my direction, comfort, refuge, and everything from. Mm-hmm. And I'm also thinking, Waitukubuli is a word that I really would love to hear a little bit more, because it comes from our own soil, our own people, the Kalinago people. I'm also thinking the Kalinago people's bloodline is so mixed with our African bloodline. So we are like literally Kali Negro nation.
Oh, yeah,
So
that's right.
I'm like, just remember we have Shanje Krimune, Whitey Kubule. Remember who we are, Whitey Kubuli. Tall is her body.
Yes.
We were warriors because, again, in each of our blood, we have that warrior type Kalinago bloodline. We are a mixed nation. That is no secret. So just remember that time when we wanted to fight for our Dominica. That's what I'm thinking. A 45-year-old is either satisfied or dissatisfied. What do you do about it? Remember those days when you were ignited and you said no to foolishness. You understand? Remember those days when the colonizers did not know what to do with our Kalinago people, who helped the Negro people to escape from the plantation fields to the point where they had to settle and decide, okay, fine, we are giving you some land. Fine, we will allow you to stay here. Because we had the fight in us. Where has it gone? I feel like, at 45, we need to beef up. We need to beef up ourselves and ignite that fight. Dominica was one of the first, actually, history will tell you, and Lennox Honey Church can attest to that. We were never really colonized, not the full of the country, Dominica was never really fully colonized. Our Bala, Jaco, our Maroons, used to fight them so much and reject the kind of lifestyle they wanted to give us, that it was difficult to fully colonize the country. And it's even said that our Maroon people were more vicious than those in Jamaica. The Maroons in Jamaica were willing to negotiate. Those in Dominica were not willing to negotiate. We just wanted our land. We just wanted our freedom, and that was it.
Right.
Where has that gone? We had the first all black, I should say African political system in Dominica, to the point where the white plantation owners used to complain to Britain that our political system, our government at that time does not take their interests at heart. I mean, I'm not saying we should have hatred in ourselves. I'm saying that we come from a soil
history.
of empowerment. This is the history. Let us ignite that. Yes? So in all, it's a serious message in a way where you can really dance to it and enjoy it at the same time. Yeah.
So with this now, to add to the sentiment of if Dominica was a 45-year-old person, individual, there's another song I see on your EP entitled I Know. So after self-introspection, are you satisfied? Am I not satisfied? After you ask those questions, you're like, now I know the answer to this question. So let us listen to this one called I Know, and then you'll give me a little bit more history on this one, yeah?
Yeah, that's a reggae one now. That's reggae if you know. Go ahead.
Ethiopia will be a kingdom to be revealed in the fullness of time. A land that's promised to you and I. Africa, I know.
I love this one. Shout out to Shire Studios one time. Keep producing that good work, that good vibe.
Children of Japheth pretending to be Shem, prophecy fulfilled in this time. I know that redemption draweth nigh. Don't be so blind to the signs, the time is revealing. Open up your eyes.
This one is of your African Renaissance EP. Yes.
Yes, that's right.
To be revealed in the fullness of time. A land that's promised to you and I. Yasharala, I know.
So, this one you just listened to was called I Know. We're going to go into one more of the Revolution EP. This one was of the African Renaissance EP. It has a reggae vibe to it. The drums hitting you steady. Nice bass, connecting with the heart chakra, the root chakra, just making you feel good and, want to be reconnected to Africa once more. This one here is called System La. So let us just hear this one. You're going to give me the history between those two as well.
Yo voyez nous l'école, pas nous éducation. Dis-nous stay in school, don't be a fool. Nous travaillons pour qualification. Actuellement, il pas ni travail.
This one dropped mystic. We could listen to your music forever, but let's just get into some some background behind it. The last one was I Know, hitting you with the African vibes, and this one is System La. So let us tie this two into the 45-year-old independent person and the levels of consciousness that they're in right now.
Yes. By the way, I hope people are not thinking that I'm 45 years. No, we're talking about Dominica, and our maturity as a nation. But so the reggae and Kadaslikso, I have been releasing for the past time, tete-a-tete, head-to-head. As I release a reggae song, I'm releasing a Kadaslikso song, and this is just how I've been rolling for the past time. Yeah. I know you're hearing in the verse, bombs drop in Gaza, missiles aimed at Jerusalem. I wrote that song before this present war. You feel me?
Yes.
That was during the pandemic, I believe, that there was this little banter, back and forth banter in Israel and Gaza at that moment, on top of the Ukraine war. And I was like, you know what? Let me just write this because, I've really seen in scripture, revelations and so forth, the part that talks about wars and rumors of wars, disasters in various places. And we're talking about very strange disasters and diseases and wars in places you would not even think of. And it made me think of those prophecies. Because there is salvation to come after that, by the way. That's a whole other conversation. Right. But I wanted to write a song that says, bring it to perspective. What does that mean to me? It means that salvation, redemption is near. It means that prophecy is actually being fulfilled as it was stated in scripture. It means that scripture itself perhaps has some truth to it. I know quite a bit of people out there, and I was one. I was one person who doubted the writings in the scriptures, right? Until you start to see things literally unfolding in front of your eyes. So I was just saying that Africa, I know, I'm telling you, this is the prophecy. I'm telling you, there is redemption after that. I'm telling you, there is one way, one direction, or one journey to redemption is the way of Yah, and this is the way I have lived by, and I wanted to present that in a song, right?
Right.
And then what's the second song? Is System La.
Yes.
Hassan, System La was written just after I came from university. It's a very personal song. Big up to UC on the sax. You heard that sweet sax?
Yeah, man.
In that song?
Yeah.
Okay. Big
Yes.
up to UC. Pablo. UC was also with us on stage, Mr. Henderson. And I was a little bit frustrated at the time and still, even among my peers, I'm seeing so many dissatisfied with the job opportunities, dissatisfied with the money that they are making, the salary that you get, dissatisfied with the taxes that are placed on top of the salary that you get.
I don't know.
Okay, so it's very personal to me, and I didn't want to hold it to myself because that's how I felt. I felt like you tell me go school, you tell me do this, and that would mean that I will get a good job after, not just a good job that satisfies my, that I'm happy about, but a good job that provides for my needs, because everybody asking for more needs. Like want money, Dowasko want money, Show Digital want, everybody want money, income tax want money. We need
Yeah.
money to survive. We need money to buy food to eat. We need money for clothes. You understand me? Money answers all things. And I wanted to just say, it's like as if if we really have to depend on the system, fully depend on the system, I'm not too sure if that alone is going to satisfy the needs and even wants that we have, even at our age. And like I say, up to this day, I'm on Facebook daily, and
Yeah.
I'm seeing my peers, really questioning, does the financial gain that I get, is that okay? Does that people meeting me, do you have children? Children, children taking money, lovely, as lovely children are.
Yeah.
There are parents who confess to me that it's really hard. It's really hard on them, and they love their babies, but it's so hard on them.
Yeah.
So system like a PJ nous, system squeezing us,
Right.
system like a twaggling nous, system strangling us, and that's so. And I was second verse. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna pack my bags, head to the hills,
Yes.
plant a Zion, plant my food.
Yeah, man.
I'm going to see to my needs now, and that is the mentality I have had, and that and I'm trying to have to go back to the soil. My husband love
Yeah.
the soil,
Yes.
and he's been doing that, and we are seeing a difference when we go that route.
Yeah,
So
man.
there you go, System La.
All right. So I see that the titles of the songs themselves have a deep, profound, not only place within the categorizing of the song, but however, it also is a indicator of where you are consciously at the time of the making or in that state of mind. So I see you have a few
Absolutely.
songs here called Come Home and one called Levy. Now, it's up to you. You can decide which one we should play next. I'll leave that choice up to you.
Let's go to the reggae. So Come Home is from the reggae African Renaissance,
Okay, so this will be like,
and
okay.
that is the last song on the reggae EP. I wanted to close off in a very meditative way. So just listen to it. The song says it all.
All right. All right, well, we're coming home.
I'm a captive. Oh. 400 years lost in Babylon, a captive child of a slave. Western lands that I do not know, a language strange to me. Every day I dream of a land beyond these shores, where shackles no more exist. My mind is free to live. Only my hands and feet are free. If I speak my mind, I'll be victimized. I look to you for the answer. I bow towards the east, and I feel a breeze blowing.
I must say, you have one of the most majestic voices ever, hands down. Yeah, bless up to that.
To the promised land. Yes, a breeze that's blowing from Mama Africa, calling out her children to come home. Come home, my child.
Is that how you felt? Did you feel like you were coming home, like, and as a new child? Is that how you really felt?
Yeah, absolutely. And correction, sorry, it's number 2 on the African Renaissance EP, number 2.
Okay.
So yeah, man, because like going back to my university days, when I started to really realize myself and realize our roots as a people, that's when I'm like, it literally means that it's coming home though. We're mentally coming back to who we are, and perhaps even physically one day, going back and dwell and invest and live some of us on that piece of land, that mainland Africa that we was given to us. It really was given to us. It was just taken away from us. So I wanted to reflect that as a new person, realizing who you are, finally getting that moment. Oh, okay, so that's where we are from. Oh, so what? We were kings and queens for real? So come home, my child. And it's like a breeze blowing. And many people meet me, even in Dominica, overseas. I get in messages and from Dominicans too, of people who tell me, what, Abiyah? Like, I thought I was the only person with that same mentality that you have. I thought I was the only person who discovered that history that you discovered. And they're realizing that there are many of us popping up throughout the world. Many of our melanated people, okay, if I have to be specific, popping up around the world and realizing our Hebrew roots, Israel connection that we have, in our past life with our past ancestors. So that's it. That's come home.
All right. But in order for you to come home, though, that means you have to leave from somewhere. So I guess we live in Babylon would be a good fit for the next one.
Yes, I play.
The time is now 8:41 p.m. You're listening to the voice of Abiyah Yisrael. This one is entitled Live in Babylon from her African Renaissance EP. Of course, she has her latest tune. It is a Calypso. I just want to get the name spelled properly. Bel Pei, that's Belpei. Bel Pei means beautiful country. She's a beautiful Dominic queen, of course. Married, of course. We heard songs like I Know, Come Home. Like I said, we're listening to Leaving Babylon. Each song, of course, has a significant place in her life at the time of her recording, as well as consciousness and life's journey. And this is what we're trying to do here, help elevate the level of consciousness. Consciousness just means awareness, or how one perceives life, or one's direction in which one looks at life from. And of course, it is always a pleasure here on this program to share the beautiful views, minds, and sounds of our many Dominic kings and queens. And tonight we have this Dominic queen, Abiyah Yisrael, sharing some of her stuff here with us. She also shared her good energy over the weekend with Michael Henderson World Creole Music Festival. But before that, and continuously and presently, she keeps doing her thing, doing her music. But enough about my voice and how I understand it. We're going to go back to Miss Abiyah Yisrael. The time is now 8:43 p.m. and let her take the reins. So Miss Yisrael, we're going to have, usually around this time here, I do like a 30-second meditation segment. I guess we'll do it afterwards. But seeing that you're calling the name Yahweh, I want to know your views on meditation, just taking that time, to reconnect with your deeper self. And how do you stay grounded in a world of distraction where a female artist is supposed to look a particular way, dress a certain way, sound a particular way? How do you balance or navigate? And has meditation helped in that level?
Right. In a world where not necessarily supposed to look, but they are encouraged to look a certain way. Right? Um, I mean, it always goes back to different things, how I was raised, and majority has to do with my faith. So I do on the Sabbath morning, during the feast days. I will get into those who know about feast days, eh? Written in the book of Leviticus, by the way, Leviticus in the scripture. I take time out every week to really sit and read scripture and indulge myself in reminding myself of what is written for us, for our encouragement, for our direction, for our guidance, and it has always worked for me. Yeah. So my husband and I, we keep the Sabbath, and during that time we literally ignore the outside. We isolate ourselves. In other words, we focus, I should say, refocus on what does the word say? What does the word say? What does the word of Yah tell us? And to me, every time, from since the pandemic time to now, to me, it has been even more relevant. The word has been even more relevant than before, because now I'm really understanding even the prophecies that might get me afraid, confused. You understand? So that is how I meditate. I meditate on the word of Yah, and that is what keeps me grounded. I know some people do, the meditation, the quietness, the humming and whatnot. I am not too familiar with that, I must admit.
Okay.
I am not too familiar. So my meditation is that, listening to the readings of the word, listening to the history, the positive history of our people gives me a positive mind. It takes away the noise, and listening to conscious and positive music. There are definitely a few artists that I choose when I want to be quiet, when I want to refocus, when I want the noise to be muted. There are definitely a few artists that I run to listen to that music. Yeah.
Indeed. And that is very important, for us to take into consideration. And I like the fact that you were honest to say that, your type of meditation may not be what another person, might be accustomed to. Take for example, I'm all about, my breath. I love to meditate with music. I do my breathing, be conscious, because meditation is just focus, just awareness, without any effort. You don't try, you just accept the moment as is. So then I just breathe 1 to 3, 3 to 1, 1 to 3, 3 to 1, and just observe the breath. I don't try to control it or whatever. Music for me is for to keep my mind, focused. Another person might have short attention span, so when my mind drifts away, it drifts into the musical sound. So another person might see me reading a book with loud music, but then the music is so that my mind, if it goes anywhere else, gets into that focus. Everyone has their own way of doing it. So I would listen to conscious vibrational songs, knowing that, take for example, if I was to say Om, Om has a particular frequency. If I was to say Yam, Ram, or Atta, or Patapat, all of these things here, like what Reed say, whatever, these songs, they are just sounds. And these sounds resonate a particular frequency. So every time he says it, it probably hits a particular resonating factor in his brain or to the people who listening to it. So what you choose to meditate upon will become your reality. So meditation isn't to say bias. Meditation just is. So if you meditate on the positive, you get more positive. If you meditate on the negative, you get more negative. So the meditation is just that, So.
Yeah. Actually, so you were talking about the Om, and I can connect to that. I can really relate to that, because the Om sound is normally made in the just to get a little more technical, in the 432 frequency. You see, music is normally done nowadays. Music is done in 440 or something, so some that frequency. So for people who produce, will understand that. Yeah. But the music I produce is in the frequency of 442, which is the same frequency
Of
that
the
we're
earth,
supposed to
yeah.
be, saying and meditating on. It relaxes you. And by the way, your body naturally
Mm-hmm.
responds to those vibrations of the 442.
Mm-hmm.
It's more calming. So I guess when you listen to my music, I think people tell me, it's a very calming
Yes.
music. It's it's
Yeah.
meant to
Mm.
to relate to the natural frequencies, even inside our body, the frequencies of the earth 442. Anybody doesn't know about that?
Yes.
Just research
Mm.
432, Google, YouTube. You'll
Yes.
get more information. You'll get
It
more
is it
information
is
on that.
so it is so amazing and beautiful that you said that, because we had a program with Kali I, and that was a topic where we were speaking about the frequencies, lower chakras, the heart chakras. He too spoke about the electromagnetic frequencies in his voice, how the sound and power is actually electricity, and the words you say are emanated for energies. So we spoke about that, and the beginning of this program we tried to help people elevate their vocabulary, the conscious vocabulary, spoken frequency, electromagnetism, grounding, all of these things. And to hear even Ophelia was on here with us speaking about those same frequencies of the heart. And so it seems like music is something that we sometimes take for granted, but it is really in tune with who we are and the nature. So yeah, man, the music is wonderful. So let us hear this one more time. Abiyah Israel, Bail Pei, and just listen to the frequencies of just how she speaks the deeper truth with what we can resonate. Now this one is a banger, I must say. I love it.
Give thanks.
There's something about the way your music drops, man. What the time is now 8:51. Does it let people know where they can get your music, how more they can, how much more they can vibe to it, and just let them know.
Please, people, feel free to purchase the music. My husband and I were talking about that last night. Like, we need to support our own. These international artists coming through, and they're doing their thing in the festival, and we pay money to see them. Come on, we have our local acts here. So you can purchase all my songs on Amazon.com. You see where we normally go on Amazon, like as if we ordering items from Amazon. You can also order music, Just type my name, Abiyah Yisrael, Abiyah Yisrael. My EPs are about 6 US or so. Each song is cents you paying, is a few cents in US. So please do that. Apple Music, iTunes. For those of you all who have Apple Music and iTunes, you can find Abiyah Yisrael. Don't forget Abiyah Yisrael. And of course, you have YouTube. I am on YouTube, guys. Check me out there. Look for Abiyah Yisrael on YouTube, on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, or X. Right now it's called X. I am there. You can find my music. You can follow what I am doing each step of the way. By the way, at the youth rally, I will be singing Bel Pei. Okay. So tune in, and you all will be seeing me perform my tune Bel Pei at the youth rally on Wednesday.
Nice.
And and of course you can visit my website www.abiyah7.com. So www.abiyah7.com, and it gives you access to everything I have. So push come to shove, you cannot remember, go on the website and you'll get access to every music and keep up with where I am performing and so forth. You will find that on my website.
All right. It's been an absolute pleasure. And I'm sure many people listening and viewing, you can always review this program here. It's on Dominica's Broadcasting Station on DBS Facebook. I'll be sure to repost it on my Facebook as well. Be sure to do the same. Miss Israel, of course, like she stated, she can be contacted on multiple streaming platforms as well as social media platforms, and where we just try to help share that consciousness and support each other, because helping someone else help someone else in turns help you, and that just perpetuates the cycle. And I guess that's what the Dominican culture independence was all about. We standing together, but we also standing on our own and helping each other stand as a unit. So definitely I appreciate the good vibrations here. The time is now 8:55. I usually try to end it a little bit earlier for the next program to get organized. One more time, any not final, but any forwarding, statements that you would like persons to know, especially on the conscious part, though. I feel it's very important that, our Dominic Queens be aware that not because you don't see on the front lines too many conscious queens out there, that does not mean that they don't exist, So just talk to us a bit about that, and, encourage other people to keep doing what they're doing, regardless of the social recognition, and not being so, frequent on social platforms like everyone else,
Absolutely. So thank you for having me, Hassan. Thank you, DBS, for this opportunity and platform. The listeners who stayed in, my family locked in, thank you very much, guys. I just want to send blessings on the whole of my people, of Dominica here at the diaspora, and everyone who feels connected to this soil. Blessings upon you, and to my ladies who choose and want to preserve their holiness, their privacy in the way we dress, in the way we carry ourselves. Big up to you. And I really want to say that we are all beautifully and wonderfully made, and we are literally a peculiar people and a holy nation. Shalom.
Shalom. All right, it's been an absolute pleasure here to have you, Miss Abiyah Yisrael, Dominic Queen. We're going to leave some of her songs here playing as we take it to the 9 o'clock hour. Up next is another wonderful program, playing Dominican music, and we'll leave it at that. But presently, let's just share some conscious vibrations here, and do have yourself a wonderful evening. And it's been an absolute pleasure. My name is Hassan Robinson, also known as Professor. Remember, tell a friend that consciousness is back on the airwaves. Stay tuned, stay conscious, stay tuned.